Oh, you're crying out, do your blood. Come on down to the house. Come down to cross, we can use. Gotta come on up to the house.
Hello, welcome.
I just heard so many crazy stories about Trails Fest and how awesome it was, how many people show up to the event, how just packed town gets, and all the riders that come up here, they just are ready to race, they're ready to have a good time, let loose for the weekend. It's just like their one time of the year that they can kind of come up, put away everything else that they do for the rest of their lives, and then just enjoy that Copper Harbor experience.
How's the fish?
Fishy. But it's good. Red Trail was in the race, and I did it on a hardtail that I had with toe clips.
See any smoke out there? And they said, just behind my rear wheel.
As he crosses the finish line. That nice shiny track looks a little bit dirty, but Dan Hookey from Atlantic by Michigan looked like he was having a good time.
This guy right here won. How many races did you win?
Here,
Yeah.
I won the second one, which was the first one I entered. And my wife won the first one for females back 25 years ago when you and I put the race on. I think there was 26 people the first year and 41 the second year. But who's counting? Or who's remembering, actually?
Right?
Remember, like, when it started to get bigger, like one year it's like, oh my god, we got 60 racers, oh my god, we got like 90 racers, like all these people in here. It's like, we're gonna have to order extra bananas next year.
It's right about the 4.5 mile mark when you're coming up on the conglomerate climb, and you look to your right and you see about 100 million shades of green, and then Lake Fanniehoo blues and some more million shades of green, and then Lake Superior blue. So it's a pretty spectacular view. So.
Turn up, let's go. I was the race director for 15 years. From 1998 through 2012 was my last go-around. The first race I was involved with, I believe there were about 40 racers. The whole race course was just dirt roads and 2-track. I think it was that year or the year after we started to incorporate more of the festival too. We got a keg of beer and brought that over. And at that time, 1 keg was enough for the whole party. The race was small enough that everybody could fit inside a Zix. If that gives you any perspective if you know how it is today. So I think back in the early years, in the early 2000s, pretty much everybody in Copper Harbor who lived here was either helping as a volunteer to some extent before, during, or after the race. By the true sense of the word, I think it's defined community in a literal or a broad sense. You know, it can be the mountain bike community, it can be the Copper Harbor community, it can be the Keweenaw community, I think. Community's always been at the heart of it. It was always a goal and a hope. I had the intent that we could establish, you know, a premier, if not the premier mountain bike event festival in the Midwest. Obviously, it's become successful. It's taken legs of its own. It's really just amazing to see how far it's come. You know, we have Bells as our title sponsor now, and so many more people and hands along the way that really have just transitioned from this kind of little fringe activity to like a significant regional event, you know, for Copper Harbor and the whole community of Keweenaw. All the years I was a race director, I always managed to somehow race. Did everything I could, you know, prior to the race and the months and weeks and days and hours leading up to it. But during the race was always my time, and that was always fulfilling, just to kind of get out and see everything unfold, see all the volunteers at their stations on every corner and see all the markings and all the cheering spectators and fans, and that was always a cool part of it and fulfilling too.
Burgers came through. The burgers are insanely good.
Early on in our career, and we loved it. You know, and Joe had connections up here, so we would come up here and play a bunch, and then we met all sorts of ridiculous people up.
You take all the pizzas. You took all the pizzas. You took all the pizzas.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back up with some more songs in just a few minutes.
I love that. I love seeing energy. So you're not going to see more energy than Trails Fest.
I've never seen that.